Isabel slammed the door of her tiny apartment, the echo reverberating through the empty hallway like a gunshot in the dead of night. Her hands trembled as she clutched the crumpled letter from HR, the words inappropriate conduct, burning into her mind like acid, all because she dared to hold Arabella's hand at the company holiday party. In that moment, as tears blurred her vision, she wondered if this was the price of loving someone society deemed unacceptable, her world crumbling faster than she could grasp. The party had started innocently enough, fairy lights twinkling in the grand ballroom of Elite Tech's headquarters in downtown Seattle. Isabel, the quiet janitor who'd worked there for 3 years, mopping floors after hours and blending into the shadows, had finally mustered the courage to bring Arabella as her plus one. Arabella, with her sharp wit and infectious laugh, was everything Isabel wasn't. Outgoing, confident, a graphic designer from a rival firm. They'd met at a local coffee shop 6 months ago, their connection sparking over shared sketches and stolen glances. But now, as Isabel paced her cramped living room, the memory twisted into a nightmare. How could they do this? She muttered to herself, her inner voice a whirlwind of rage and despair. Why me? Why us? I've given them my sweat, my silence, and this is what I get. A ban from future events and a veiled threat of termination if I disrupt again. Arabella arrived minutes later, her knock urgent and insistent. She burst in, pulling Isabel into a hug that felt like the only anchor in a storm. Belle, talk to me. What happened after I left? Arabella's voice was steady, but Isabel could see the fear in her eyes. The same fear that had gripped them both when the CEO's wife had spotted their intertwined fingers and whispered something to her husband. The room had gone cold then, conversations halting as stares pierced them. Isabel pulled away, handing over the letter. They called it conduct unbecoming. As if loving you is a crime. Her thoughts raced. Is this what it means to be out? To face the world head-on and get slapped for it? Arabella read the paper, her face hardening. This is discrimination, plain and simple. We fight it. But Isabel shook her head, doubt creeping in like fog. Fighting meant exposure, meant dragging their relationship into the harsh light of judgment. From colleagues, from families who already tiptoed around their friendship. That night, sleep evaded Isabel. She lay staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment. Her parents back in rural Idaho had never understood. Her coming out at 18 had been met with silence, then awkward attempts at normalcy. We love you, but always hung unspoken. And now at 28, scraping by on minimum wage, this job was her lifeline. Losing it would mean losing everything. Arabella, sensing her turmoil, whispered in the dark. We'll get through this. Together. But Isabel's mind screamed otherwise. What if together means pulling her down with me? The next morning, she dragged herself to work, avoiding eyes in the elevator, her mop bucket a shield. Whispers followed her. Did you hear about the janitor? Each one a dagger. By lunch, her supervisor called her in. Isabel, we need to talk about boundaries. Boundaries? She thought bitterly. Like the ones that keep people like me invisible? As days turned to weeks, the isolation deepened. Colleagues who'd once nodded hello now averted their gazes. Arabella pushed for legal action, researching LGBTQ rights groups, but Isabel hesitated. What if it backfires? What if they fire me outright? Her inner conflict raged. Stand up and risk poverty, or swallow the humiliation and survive. Arabella's frustration grew. Belle, this isn't just about us. It's about everyone who's ever been shamed for who they are. Their arguments escalated, voices rising in the quiet apartment. One night, after a particularly heated exchange, Arabella stormed out, slamming the door. Isabel collapsed onto the couch, tears streaming. Why can't I fight like she does? Am I a coward? The betrayal stung. Not from Arabella, but from herself. Months passed and the wound festered. Isabel threw herself into work, taking extra shifts to numb the pain. But inside, resentment brewed. She started journaling her thoughts, pouring out the anger toward a system that rewarded conformity. Arabella, meanwhile, distanced herself, her calls growing infrequent. I need space, she'd said. Space from what? From me? Isabel wondered, the loneliness a constant ache. Then came the breaking point. A promotion announcement for the colleague who'd reported them. Seeing his smug face in the company newsletter, Isabel snapped. She quit that day, walking out with nothing but her dignity, or what was left of it. As she stepped into the rainy Seattle street, she vowed silently, "This isn't the end. I'll make them pay somehow." Unemployed and adrift, Isabel moved back to Idaho temporarily, crashing with her reluctant parents. The homecoming was tense. Her mother's forced smiles hid disapproval. Her father's grunts spoke volumes. "You could find a nice man, settle down," her mother suggested one evening over dinner. Isabel's stomach twisted. "Mom, that's not me." The argument that followed unearthed old hurts. Accusations of selfishness, pleas for normalcy. In her childhood bedroom, Isabel's thoughts swirled. Why must I choose between love and family? The pressure mounted, pushing her toward a decision. She enrolled in online courses, studying business and tech, channeling her fury into ambition. Arabella's occasional texts, "Miss you," were lifelines, but Isabel pushed them away. "I have to fix myself first." A year later, Isabel landed an entry-level job at a startup in Portland, her skills honed in secret. The environment was progressive, but scars lingered. She kept her personal life hidden, focusing on climbing the ladder. Promotions came swiftly as she proved her worth. Her janitorial past a secret fuel. But at night, dreams of Arabella haunted her. What if I'd fought? What if we'd stayed together? The what-ifs gnawed, but she pressed on, building a network, saving every penny. Little did she know, this was just the beginning of her transformation. A phoenix rising from the ashes of betrayal. Relocating to Portland marked a turning point for Isabel, but the ghosts of Seattle followed like shadows. Her new role as a junior analyst at Innovate Solutions demanded long hours. Yet it was a far cry from pushing a mop. Still, every team meeting reminded her of the exclusion she'd faced, fueling a quiet determination. "I won't let them define me," she repeated inwardly, a mantra against the doubt. Arabella had vanished from her life by then. Their last conversation a painful goodbye over coffee. "I can't wait forever, Belle. You have to choose us or your fear." Isabel had chosen silence, regretting it ever since. Why did I let her go? Was protecting myself worth the heartbreak? As she rose through the ranks, Isabel encountered subtle biases. A offhand joke about diversity hires. A sidelong glance at pride pins. Each instance stoked her resolve. She volunteered for LGBTQ advocacy groups anonymously, channeling her pain into action. But the mending was slow. Therapy sessions unearthed layers of trauma, from childhood rejection to workplace humiliation. "You're carrying the weight of others' prejudices," her therapist said. Isabel nodded, but inside, "How do I let it go when it's shaped who I am?" Friendships formed tentatively, but trust was scarce. One colleague, Mia, sensed her guardedness. "You've got walls higher than the Rockies," Mia teased one day. Isabel smiled faintly, thinking, if only you knew why. 2 years in, a merger opportunity arose, pitting Innovate against Elite Tech, her old nemesis. Isabel's heart raced at the mention. This is it, she thought, a chance for reckoning. She volunteered for the due diligence team, poring over Elite's finances late into the night. What she uncovered shocked her. Embezzlement traces, discriminatory practices buried in HR files. The CEO, Mr. Harlan, the same man who'd banned her, was implicated. Excitement mingled with fear. Expose them and risk backlash, or stay silent and let injustice prevail. The moral quandary tore at her. Revenge felt sweet, but was it right? Nights blurred as she debated internally, weighing ethics against personal vendetta. Arabella re-entered her life unexpectedly via a LinkedIn message. "Heard you're doing well. Proud of you." Isabel's fingers hovered over the keyboard. Reply or ignore. The pull was magnetic. They met in a neutral cafe, the air thick with unspoken words. Arabella looked the same, vibrant, unyielding. "I never stopped thinking about you," she admitted. Isabel's throat tightened. "Me too. But I was broken." Their conversation peeled back scars, revealing Arabella's own struggles. A family that disowned her after coming out, a string of failed relationships. "We both paid a price," Arabella said softly. Isabel's mind raced. Can we rebuild? Or is the damage irreparable? As the merger progressed, Isabel's discoveries deepened. She found emails documenting her own incident, Harlan's directive to handle the lesbian issue discreetly. Fury ignited. This wasn't just personal, it was systemic. She confided in Mia, who urged caution. You could lose everything. But Isabel's inner voice countered. Or gain justice. The tension built as she compiled evidence, her double life straining relationships. Arabella noticed the stress during their tentative dates. What's eating you? She pressed. Isabel hesitated, then confessed. Arabella's eyes widened. Do it. For us, for everyone. The decision crystallized during a family visit. Her parents, sensing change, confronted her. We hear you're seeing that woman again. Think about your future. Isabel exploded. My future? You mean one that fits your mold? The fallout was brutal, tears, accusations, a door slammed in finality. Driving back, she thought. Family shouldn't cost your soul. Empowered, she leaked the evidence anonymously to a whistleblower site. Chaos ensued. Media frenzy, elite stock plummeting. Harlan denied everything, but the damage was done. In the aftermath, Isabel's role in the merger elevated her to executive status. But victory tasted bittersweet. Arabella stood by her, their bond rekindling amid the storm. Yet doubts lingered. Did I cross a line? The promotion party at Innovate was lavish, but Isabel felt hollow. As toasts rang out, she whispered to Arabella, was it worth it? Arabella squeezed her hand. You tell me. With elite tech reeling from the scandal, Isabel's life accelerated into uncharted territory. Now a senior strategist at the newly merged company, she navigated boardrooms where her voice carried weight. But power brought scrutiny. Whispers of her involvement in the leak circulated. She's the janitor who came back, one executive muttered. Isabel overheard, her blood boiling. They still see me as that? Despite the title, the label clung. Internally, she battled imposter syndrome. Am I here on merit or revenge? Arabella's support was unwavering, their relationship blossoming anew. Weekend getaways to the Oregon coast offered respite, but even there, tensions surfaced. You seem distant, Arabella noted during a walk on the beach. Isabel sighed. The leak. What if it backfires? Moral ambiguity haunted her. Justice or vigilantism? Arabella challenged her. You expose truth. That's not wrong. But Isabel wondered. At what cost to my conscience? Back at work, confrontations escalated. Harlan, ousted but vengeful, sued for defamation. Isabel was subpoenaed. Her anonymity shattered. The courtroom loomed, a battleground of ethics. Prepping with lawyers, she relived the party incident, the ban, the humiliation. Why didn't you report it then? The attorney asked. Isabel's thoughts churned fear. Shame. Survival. Testifying meant baring her soul. Admitting her sexuality publicly, facing judgment. Arabella held her hand through sleepless nights. You're stronger than this. The trial was a media circus. Headlines screaming janitor's revenge. Isabel took the stand, voice steady despite the tremor inside. I was punished for loving someone, she stated, eyes locking on Harlan. His glare pierced, but she pressed on, detailing the discrimination. Cross-examination was brutal. Isn't this personal vendetta? The defense sneered. Isabel paused, inner turmoil peaking. Yes, but also right. It's about accountability, she countered. The verdict favored the company. Harlan's claims dismissed. Relief washed over her, but scars deepened. Post-trial, family rifts widened. Her sister called, pleading reconciliation. Mom and Dad are hurting, Isabel snapped. They hurt me first. The call ended in silence, leaving her questioning. Can blood ties survive prejudice? Arabella urged therapy together, but Isabel resisted. I need to handle this alone. Loneliness crept back, straining their bond. Professionally, Isabel spearheaded diversity initiatives, turning pain into policy. Workshops on inclusion drew crowds, but resistance lingered. One employee confronted her. You're pushing an agenda. Isabel's response was measured, but inside agenda? It's humanity. Success mounted. A TEDx talk invitation where she shared her story. Visibility comes at a price, she said, voice cracking. Applause followed, but vulnerability lingered. Am I exploiting my trauma? Arabella's patience wore thin. You're shutting me out again. An argument erupted, echoes of the past. I fought for us once, now it's your turn. Isabel recoiled. What if I fail her? Reconciliation came slowly through honest talks. "I love you, flaws and all," Arabella whispered. Isabel's heart softened. Maybe healing starts with acceptance. As years blurred, Isabel's influence grew. She mentored young LGBTQ professionals, her janitor days a badge of resilience. But a surprise encounter loomed. Harlan, bankrupt and broken, approached her at a conference. "You ruined me." Isabel's pulse raced. "Did I?" Empathy clashed with justice. "You ruined yourself," she replied. Walking away, she pondered. Forgiveness or finality? Decades compressed into milestones. Isabel, now a CEO of her own firm, Equality Dynamics, championing inclusive tech. The janitor's mop was long forgotten, replaced by boardroom battles. Yet the past echoed in quiet moments. Arabella, her partner of 15 years, shared the journey. Marriage is legal now. Their ceremony a quiet affair amid supportive friends. But shadows persisted. Childless by choice, they faced societal whispers. "Why no kids?" relatives prodded. Isabel thought, "Because our love is enough." Or is it a defense against more judgment? A crisis hit when Arabella's health faltered. A routine check revealing early-stage cancer. The diagnosis shattered Isabel. "I can't lose you," she whispered in the hospital room. Arabella smiled weakly. "You won't." Treatments began, draining but unifying them. Isabel scaled back work, prioritizing care. Inner reflections intensified. "All my ambitions, were they worth neglecting us?" Guilt gnawed as she held Arabella's hand through chemo. During recovery, old wounds resurfaced. Isabel's parents, aged and regretful, reached out. "We want to make amends." A visit ensued, tense but pivotal. "We were wrong," her father admitted.
Tears flowed, forgiveness tentative.
Isabel's mind whirled. Too late? Or timely? Healing bridged gaps, but trust rebuilt slowly. Professionally, a betrayal struck. A mentee, inspired by her story, leaked confidential data for personal gain. Isabel confronted her. "Why?" The response: "You taught me to fight." Irony stung. Did I create this monster? Firing her echoed her own past. A cycle of pain. Moral debate raged. Mercy or consequence? Arabella's remission brought joy, but questions lingered. "What now?" she asked. Isabel pondered. Retire? Advocate more? A book deal emerged, her memoir. From Shadows to Spotlight. Writing unearthed depths. The party ban as catalyst, the leak as turning point. "Every choice has a price," she wrote, reflecting on losses, friends, family ties, pieces of self. At the launch, Harlan appeared unexpectedly, older, humbled. "I was blind," he said. Isabel nodded. "We all were." No apology but closure. Inside. Does redemption erase harm? Their life stabilized, but society evolved unevenly. Protests for trans rights reminded Isabel of ongoing fights. She donated, spoke out, but fatigue set in. "How much more can I give?" Arabella grounded her. "Enough to make a difference." As Isabel approached her 50s, the culmination of her journey unfolded in unexpected ways. Equality Dynamics thrived, but a corporate espionage scandal threatened everything. Evidence pointed to a rival, Elite Tech's remnants, now under new ownership but harboring old grudges. Isabel's investigation revealed a personal twist. The perpetrator was Harlan's son, driven by inherited resentment. Confronting him, she said, "This ends now." His defiance cracked. "You destroyed my family." Isabel's empathy surged. Cycles of vengeance, when do they stop? The resolution involved mediation, not litigation. A choice born of growth. "We choose peace," she declared. Internally. Is this weakness or wisdom? The company survived, stronger. Arabella's full recovery inspired travel. Europe, Asia, broadening perspectives. "We've earned this," Arabella said. Isabel agreed, but reflections persisted. Our love weathered storms, others crumble. Why us? Back home, a community award honored her advocacy. In her speech, change demands sacrifice. Applause thundered, but she questioned, at what personal toll? The story's apex came at a reunion. Former elite colleagues gathering. Isabel attended, Arabella by her side. Whispers hushed as she entered. "The janitor who rose," someone murmured. She addressed them. "I was banned for being me." Now I own my narrative. Shock rippled, revelations followed, apologies, shared regrets. Harlan's absence noted, but his influence faded. In quiet aftermath, Isabel pondered her path. Betrayals faced, damages paid, awakenings earned. Love with Arabella endured, a testament to resilience. Was revenge the path to justice, or does true change come from forgiveness alone?